Hi, I'm Roland Nancy, founder of New Home Sales Plus, and I'm so happy to introduce my friend Anya Chrysanthan to our Pro on the Go series. Hey, Anna, how are you?
Hi, good, Roland. So happy to see you.
Likewise, I can't wait to get started and get to know you and let everybody learn from you. Right now is a very important time in the home building industry, and you are right on the cutting edge. You got so much great information that I can't wait to hear about in our 10-minute Pro on the Go series. Before I do that, let me read your bio because it's quite extensive, and then we'll get started. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So Anya is the Chief Brand Officer at Anewgo. Anewgo helps home builders to create seamless shopping journeys online with interactive digital content, data analytics, and sales conversion tools. Anya is a host of Anewgo of New Home Sales, a weekly podcast. If you haven't heard her podcast, she's great. I feel like you invented the medium for home building. Really, if you were doing this years ago. So hats off to you for being a pioneer. So she's a host of a weekly podcast where she discusses the hottest innovative sales and marketing technologies for the home building industry. Anya brings her combined experience as a new home salesperson, marketing strategist, and technologist. Interesting word to it, which is true. I've seen your performances at the Builders Show at IBS and your whiz bang making 3D images appear on the screen. It's quite fantastic. So she's a technologist to improve the way we sell new construction. Anya is a recipient of numerous industry awards, including NHB's One to Watch, Professional Builders 40 Under 40, and she's recognized as one of the top influencers in our industry. It's true. Wherever I go, people love Anya. You're very well known and well deserved of all the accolades. So Anya, it's lovely to see you.
Thank you so much for the kind words and the warm introduction. I appreciate that.
You are very welcome. So listen, I have a commitment to keep this at 10 minutes. So I'm turning over my little my hourglass thingy, and let's get going.
All right, sounds good.
All right. So again, pleasure to see you. Tell us what sets you apart from other experts in your field.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that I've been there, done that, so to speak. I've been in sales and new home sales. I've done marketing. I ran my own marketing company, and obviously, I've always loved technology. So from day one, I've always incorporating technology into my sales process. So now I'm so lucky to be at the company where we're really on the cutting edge of technology. So yes, I get to combine all of that and bring it to you now.
Well, good. I agree. I've worked with you in all of those, the genre with your advertising, and you really are sort of a boots on the ground kind of approach where you roll up your sleeves and really work hard and get into the analytics and what works. And it's just really a pleasure to work with you. So let's talk about what people want to know with the shifting market. The market's shifted. So what are some of your top tips and maybe things also that you'll expand upon even when you come down to the retreat in November?
Sure. So I think one of the biggest things with uncertainty in the market is that our job is to be able to provide that certainty to our clients. So how do you provide certainty in new construction? One of the biggest things we see in new construction is that people are unable to visualize the final product. So providing certainty around that, such as visualizations, that's going to be huge. So I know a lot of home builders have embraced virtual tours, and that's amazing. And I want to see them to continue to do that. So providing that visual helps, it's painting the picture so that they can really see themselves in it. Also, as far as interest rates going up and increasing pricing, one of the things is people have to see to believe. So again, using digital design tools to help people design a home of their dream. And as they're designing the home, to be able to show how their monthly payment is affected by those options that they're adding on. And to really see. Yeah, exactly. And to be able to show them, hey, if interest rate changes just by 0.5%, this is what's going to happen to your monthly payments. So instead of saying it, showing it, that's going to help you build that credibility and help you move forward. And I would say,
can I just jump in on that? Do you mind?
Of course.
I promise that we'll keep your time going. I won't penalize your 10 minutes that you have. but I totally agree. I have a friend of mine, Scott Backman in Colorado, and he said that a salesperson that doesn't do numbers is like a pilot that doesn't do landing. And I've maintained that. It's harsh maybe, but I've maintained that for as long as I've been selling homes, is that new home salespeople have to understand financing. I created an app 5 years ago that wasn't particularly fashionable, but now in the last 3 months, everyone wants to know how to use that. And you're right. It's the focus shouldn't be on the interest rate, although rates have bubbled down a little bit this week, but it shouldn't be on the interest rate. It's the monthly investment. And so you're right on the front end. If they're building a dream home with you, with your Anewgo platform and the visualizing tools, and they like that, and then they can see what the monthly investment is, and that works for them, then we have a sale. Why are we so focused on price all the time and allowing buyers to drive the conversation with interest rate when it's the dream home coupled with the monthly investment? That works out great. Then please write an agreement that, close, don't do not pass go kind of stuff. Does that make sense? Is that what you're trying to say as well?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it all bringing it back to emotional connection, right? It's one thing when you talk about numbers, but it's a completely other thing when you're actually showing them what their home is going to look like, what their life's going to be like, and then talking about the numbers. So I think,
and it's affordable.
Yeah, exactly. So being able to visualize it and paint that emotional picture is really important. And speaking of emotional tie-in, one of the biggest opportunities we have in new home sales is to get people familiar with new construction earlier on in the process. So I call it the Zillow Effect, right?
Okay.
We know one.
What is that?
Sorry, we keep talking about over each other.
No, you're doing great.
So one thing we know about Zillow is that 60% of all visitors to Zillow are not actually on there to find a home or to sell a home. They're there for quote unquote fun, America's favorite pastime. So at Anewgo, we're trying to do the same thing for new home sales, and we're really excited to bring Anewgo Marketplace, which is going to be coming out on September 13th. So stay tuned for that. Yes.
Okay. Mark the calendar.
So it's going to be basically all things new homes. So our goal is to be able to introduce new homes to the consumer earlier in the process so that they can fall in love with all things new homes, learn about the process of buying new construction, why new construction is so much superior to a used home, so that when they're actually ready.
Right. With the toenail clippings in the carpet and smells.
Exactly.
And stuff. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And, one of the coolest things that we're doing, being a technology company, is we're introducing this match and notify approach, which is really something that we're excited about. So just like on match.com or any of those dating sites, I wouldn't know about it because I am a married woman, but I've heard things that you swipe right, so I swipe left. So we're doing the same thing. Basically, what's going to happen is after taking a quick quiz, a consumer is going to be able to set their preference so that while they're sleeping, if the home becomes available that matches their criteria, they're going to be immediately notified. Wow. So even if you're not in the market, but the perfect home comes available, suddenly that may change things for you. So we're hoping to accomplish that for new home industry. So builders, you better be ready with your OSCs because we're hoping to generate a whole lot of phone calls and activity for you.
I'm speechless, but I'm so excited. When I get excited, I lose my words a lot. So I just think it's brilliant because what a novel idea to make the online home search so proactive as opposed to reactive, where the buyer has to go back and start their search again. Did I save it in the right place? What you're saying, if I hear you correctly, I vaguely remember the dating days. For me, it's been about 20 years too. But that ding of a home being a perfect match for you. What a clever idea! So what an excitement, and that the dopamine will be released, in the buyer's mind when they get that ding. It's like, oh my goodness, there's a home that suits our criteria, and you're putting builders in front of buyers, if I understand it correctly. I don't know that's been done before in that fashion. That's really is genius of you guys to do that. Also, it's a case of the supply creating demand. People want something they can't get. The supply comes along and now creates that demand behind it somewhat, which is sort of a very aspirational way to approach building homes. It's not settling for something. It's here's something special that we found for you. It's arriving in your inbox. Go check it out. 2 or 3 of those probably would lead to a very excited person. But then it sounds like you want to stress that connection with the OSC and making sure the OSC gets involved. So
Yeah,
what are your
so
best
this is
tips on
where
that?
builders, you can't drop the ball, right? Because
Okay, all the
when you
time.
have somebody who's ready to go and they're
Right.
interested, we've got to make sure that that handoff is smooth, because if consumers are not having that good experience, and they're
Right.
definitely getting used to a smoother experience on the resale side, and now with Zillow teaming up with Open Door to introduce that buy now feature for used homes, it's even easier now to purchase used homes. So we really got to step up our game on new home front and make it as easy as possible for consumer to own, to buy, to
Right.
visualize, and hopefully we're doing our part. So if you guys want to learn all about OSCs and how to do that correctly, Roland, your program is going to be perfect for that.
Our retreat in November, which people are probably now fed up of hearing about, but you're going to be there as one of our superstar speakers, along with the OSC training. And we firmly believe that now is the time to get trained. When the going gets tough or slightly tough, you've got to work smart, not just hard, but smart. So, engaging Anewgo and your team, which was formerly Rendering House, correct? That was the
So a lot of our clients still know us as Rendering House. So Rendering House, we've been in business for over 20 years and recently rebranded into Anewgo, since we're now so much more than just renderings.
So it's sort of a one-stop shop for your digital needs, where you can do the rendering, which is, you've updated it so much where it's so easy to implement. Buyers have fun with it, but now they go build a home, and then when that home shows up, they're sort of notified by you. By your platform that it's there. So it's just genius. But absolutely, the transition to OSC is so important, and so many builders I work with really struggle with that and that lag time, and almost a blame game of like who's at fault. But that's not the point. Let's fix it. Let's get people trained, and let's maximize that lead that's just on the website, and get them in the door and get them buying one of our beautiful brand new homes.
Yeah, especially when somebody's reaching out to you and they're saying, "Hey, I'm ready," or "I want this." You got to pounce on that.
It's a crime. You can't afford to let anybody sit out there. I mean, absolutely. There are too few real buyers, and they need to be nurtured properly and treated properly. So we're on the same page. All right, we're almost out of time, but in the last few moments, let's get a little personal with Anya, if that's okay. It sounded wrong when I said, but let's get a little personal and find out about you and your wonderful family. So, movie, TV, or books? What is your preference? I know you had some summers on the beach there.
Yeah, so I don't spend too much time in front of TV. If I do, it's Bravo Housewives. I'm a Bravo-holic. That is my guilty pleasure for sure.
There we go. That's interesting. Good for you.
So I love my Bravo. Reality TV junkie a little bit. Summer House and Southern Charm. Those are my go-to.
I don't even know what they are, but I'm not pretending. I really don't.
But I don't, like I said, I don't watch a ton of TV. So that's like my guilty pleasure. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. I do love audiobooks and podcasts. So the latest book that I'm listening to that I can't seem to get through, so I would not recommend this for your vacation for sure.
Okay, sure.
It's called The Big Picture by Sean Connell. And it's kind of answering those big questions of, why are we here? What is the universe? Is there such thing as time? Is time real? Is there time travel? So it's very, very deep. And, I probably picked the wrong time to read it in the summertime during the vacation time. I just can't seem to get into it. So you got to
so that's the last book you heard, but you're not really recommending it necessarily.
And not till I get through it. But once I get through it and I know all the answers to life, then maybe.
I just finished Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Amazing, honestly. And then before that, it was Atomic Habits. I've just been really on a good roll with books recently.
How am I supposed to do that, Roland?
What's that?
Isn't that the go-to, the Never Split the Difference? That's one thing.
Oh yeah, no.
Right? How am I supposed to do that?
It's inspiring me to finish my book on mastery of negotiation. It's next in my queue of books to write, because there's so many great tips, and it just endorses or emphasizes Yeah, splitting the difference is a crazy concept, and just being empathetic. He talks so much about the empathy as a strategy, which it really is. How can you negotiate if you don't know the other person or understand what their hot buttons are and what their needs and fears? And so it's just I love that topic. I love to roll my sleeves up and
It's definitely very timely for now too, for new
yeah.
home sales. So if you guys haven't read that book, that's a good book.
It's a good one.
The guy was like a hostage negotiator,
He
right?
was for the FBI, exactly.
Yeah.
And just like new homes, we feel
There you go.
same difference. And what is your favorite pastime when not working?
My favorite pastime is probably, I know this sounds so bad, but I love to travel. So anytime I have a chance to like get away for a little bit from my family, I know again, I have 3 kids.
Oh gosh,
they're all on top of me. So I love traveling with them, but if I can
3
squeeze
kids.
in a little bit of Anya time, I'm actually a big time introvert. So I do enjoy my alone time.
Okay.
And it happens very rarely these days. So that's, you know.
Well, we're having the retreat on the beach in Clearwater.
Yes.
Once you're finished speaking, we'll put a drink in your hand and send you out to the water, and you can watch the sunset all by yourself out there and have some alone time.
Well, actually, my husband's going to be coming
Oh,
with
okay,
me
so
because we're going to be celebrating my big 40th birthday.
Oh my goodness! Well, congratulations. So, well, you got that 40 under 40 in time. And
yes.
you
Just
look like you're
squeeze that in. So.
Well, we'll be happy. We're thrilled to have you back. Thank you so much for being a speaker. You're really a lot of fun to listen to. You're very knowledgeable. You have great content. Whenever I see you speak, you provide a really entertaining show, but it's full of real life stuff that people can use immediately. So can't wait to see you at the retreat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Likewise, I can't wait to laugh because I know that's one thing. You always make it super entertaining. So I'll see you very soon.
I appreciate that. Take care. Bye.
Bye.